Wow, I just bumped into some news. There's this government city called Santa Tracker that does not have, that needed a business solution. They picked a business solution, which is Google Apps. Another organization, NORAD, also started using Google Apps about a year ago. Once their contract was up with Google, they decided to ditch Google Apps, and they got with Microsoft Office 365. I wonder why. At one time, I did say if you have a company of 50 people, and at the time, Google offered free Google Apps service with advertising. You have to deal with the ads though, just like you do with on Gmail. Where, yeah, you can have up to 50 users. And I'm like, hey, if you got that and you just need a simple email solution with your domain, go for it. Then there was the factor of, they reduced it to 10 users for free. And I was like, okay, if you have a company of 10 people, and all you need is a simple email solution and simple chat, video, audio, communications through Google Talk, then go with Google Apps. Because it's free, 10 people for free. And a lot of people like that, if they have less than 10 people in an organization, that's great. But that is now gone because Google Apps is no longer free. Now, even if you just have one user, you still got to pay $50 a year, or you pay $5 per year per user, or it's $50 a year per user. Either way, you still got to pay for it. Now, granted, Office 365 costs a little bit more, and it does add up because the more users you have, it's an extreme amount of money. You're talking about $8 per user per month. If you get the small business package, you can have up to 100 people. It says 50, but you can really add up to 100 people. You can actually do that with the small business package, which is $6 per month per user. But you can do a hell of a lot more with the enterprise version. I strongly suggest any business, especially if they're growing, and even though they may have let's say they only have 30 people, at some point they may need to expand to where they need 150 people. And so they're stuck with that small business plan because you can't do an easy migration from one to the other. You got to literally start a new account and then move all your documents over from SharePoint. You have to, relocate the emails, and it's just a lot of work. It's a lot of needless work. You might as well go ahead and start with the enterprise plan at $8 per month per user and get the E1 plan. At least you already got, the service that can be expanded upon, and there's a lot more things you can do with it. And it costs more money. $8 times 10 is $80. $5 times 10 is $50, okay, per month. And if you add even more, let's say, if you got 100 employees, that's $500 per month. And with 100 employees on Office 365, it's $800 per month. So yeah, it is cheaper to go with Google Apps, but the services rendered by Google Apps is nowhere compared to what Office 365 offers. And a lot of people don't realize that. Now, that's not the only reason why people choose Google Apps. A lot of people choose Google Apps because they feel, the IT people, they have Gmail accounts. So they figured that because Gmail is user-friendly, that it would work great in an enterprise environment. But that's not entirely true. Microsoft Office, Outlook, Exchange, and all those other email services are specifically made for enterprise use. And the enterprise usage of Outlook web app or Microsoft Outlook is not, you can do a lot with it if it's on an Exchange account. Sorry, I just almost tripped. So this is why I'm happy about that, because Google Apps is not robust. It doesn't offer the great features that Office 365 offers. It just doesn't do it. Okay? Now, Google Apps is a great service. I use Google Apps, and I still have my, excuse me, I'm sorry. I still have my Google Apps under my subdomain, g.sariant.net. And I use that to, run my pages on YouTube and stuff like that, and then I use my regular Gmail account to run my, ads, management and stuff like that. So Google does have a lot of services, and sometimes you have to use different services for your company. That's just the way it is. You have to kind of bounce it around a little bit. But with Google Apps, I only have like 2 or 3 accounts on Google Apps, which runs the 3 different YouTube channels that I run. And it works great. It does what it does, but I don't use the email feature because my email address is not going to be something at g.sariant.net. My main email address is with Office 365. But with Microsoft, it gives you exactly what a lot of other companies have used for years, and that's Exchange. And if another company uses Microsoft Exchange, whether it's on-premise or if it's in the cloud, like Office 365, you're going to be able to communicate with that company a lot better than you would on Gmail. Gmail does have, sorry for the wind noise, we're experiencing like 10 to 15 mile per hour winds with gusts of 30. So if it's very noisy out here, I don't have a noise cancellation mic. I'm using a mic that's on my phone, so it's not going to be perfect. Now, Google Apps offers a Gmail-like interface. In fact, it is Gmail. It's just using your domain instead of gmail.com. And it works great. It does what it does, but it doesn't necessarily work the same like it does in the enterprise environment. Now, one thing that is great about Gmail is that instead of having folders where you can drag an email to one folder, and that's it, you can literally add labels. And in Microsoft Outlook, it treats it like a folder, but you can actually have labels. And so if you have one email and it's like you have all these labels, let's say Christmas event, inventory, and that one email has inventory of all the stuff you want for Christmas, and then you have a Christmas event. You can put that in 2 different labels so that no matter what label you go to, it's going to show you what that email is. Now, in Outlook, you only can drop it in one folder. But so there are certain things, aspects of Google Gmail that is nice in itself, but it's not robust, and there's not a whole lot of options. You can't, and also Google has been plagued with what people are complaining about not having complete privacy rights. The privacy level is not there on Google. And this is how Google works. Google makes money on advertising. They do. They also make money on good marketing. And in fact, they offer services. They offer services for marketing. And that's how Google makes money. That is the primary budget. I mean, they don't make money on YouTube. They don't make a whole lot of money on all the services they provide. So they rely on advertising, which is Google Ads, in order to make that buck. The same way as how Microsoft makes money through Windows and Office. Microsoft doesn't really make a lot of money in the other services that they offer. But Microsoft has made a lot of money with Windows and Office and some of their enterprise platforms. And that's how Microsoft makes money. They don't have the same advertising campaigns like Google has. And Google has different. That's why. Sorry for that. study here. So, what service is good for you? You know, I mean, and one thing that you want to do is look at what your company already has. If you have Microsoft Office, do not use Google Apps. I'm telling you, Google Apps will screw up your documents because Google uses proprietary coding for all their documents. And it doesn't work very well with Microsoft Office. If you have Microsoft Office and you don't plan on going completely online, you're going to be shit out of luck. Plus, you got to look at this too. A lot of companies use Microsoft Office. When a lot of companies use Microsoft Office, they may send you, your company, a document. Guess what happens? You're going to have to open that document in Google Apps, in Google Docs. Now, where does that leave you? You're going to have screwed up formatting. You're not going to see the exact document that they sent to you. Let's say you got rid of Microsoft Office altogether. You're not using Microsoft Office. You're relying on Google Docs to do everything for you. It's not going to be the same. It's going to be screwed up. So I think a lot of companies are realizing that, and government agencies are like, yeah, Microsoft is definitely better. Any service you use, there's going to be some issues. Microsoft Office 365 has had some issues, but think about it like this. If you have 1,000 users, maybe 10 or 20 of them will have issues. And it's always computer related. It's not Microsoft Office or Microsoft 365 related. Okay? One or two may have corrupt accounts on the Microsoft server. The other 18 or 19 is because the computer has restrictions on it that it shouldn't have. So, I'm going to talk a little bit more about this later. And peace out.